Exciting morning here. Just made this little sample piece yesterday. Knife handles. We'll see how this goes. I've been thinking about knife handles. It's been on the list of things, like many other things, for quite a while, and Tyson at Carbon Peaks hit me up, checked out his Instagram page, and yeah, pretty excited about this. Let's see how it goes. Hey,
Tyson. Chris, how you doing?
Nice to meet you, man.
Good to meet you. Welcome to Carbon Peaks.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite. Wow, look at that thing.
I know we're interested in talking about some knife handles and stuff and some material you possibly are putting together.
This is what we were talking about.
All right, let's take a look. Oh man, look how gorgeous that is. Kind of gauge it. I cannot wait to start using this.
Yeah, I'd love to see some other handles.
Yeah, I acquired a bunch of handle material. As a knife maker, you're kind of a hoarder. So whatever handle material I can get a hold of, I normally get a hold of.
What is this one?
This is mammoth tusk. This is what the actual This is what the actual tusk looks like.
Did you send that off to be stabilized?
No, this hasn't been stabilized at all. This is raw.
So I liked this one.
Yeah.
And what is that one called again?
It's a Damascus San Mai. All right, so I know we were talking about a Damascus knife, and you were looking at the San Mai earlier. So we're gonna do like 150 to 180 layers of just random pattern Damascus San Mai. So what I'd like to do is I'm gonna start with a 15 in 20 and then a 1084, 15 in 20, 1095, 15 in 20, 1084, and I'll continue altering 1084, 15 in 20. So right here I can get a solid 3 to 4 billets out of that. So this will be cut into 3 or 4, probably 4 separate billets. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order some more 80 CRV2, which is what this is. So this will be the core material that we're gonna use. And once we get the billets made, I'll actually be able to take this 80 CRV2 core material and fold all of this over on itself so that we actually get a San Mai billet.
I'm super excited about this.
It is, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's super fun.
This is gonna be rad.
I can't wait to see the wood, the handle material is phenomenal.
So we just have to send these out, get them stabilized, professionally stabilized, and then we'll come back and make some knives.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, that was great. Really excited to make these knives, at least the handles. But got to finish these, get these done, and next, chaotic blocks and knife handles. Can't wait.
Welcome back, everybody, to Carbon Peaks Knives out of Wasilla, Alaska. We're going to be cutting and grinding, making some billets for some knives that we're doing. Each billet is going to contain 19 layers, and then we're going to cut and restack twice. That's going to give us 152 layers. We want to get these billets really, really clean so we don't get any inclusions in the steel when we go to welding these billets up and forge welding them. And we'll take this big, massive stack of steel here, and I will cut it up into 4 smaller billets. There we go, one clean cut billet.
I'm interested to see what the TIG welding is actually going to do. I don't have a TIG welder at home or MIG, so I'm just using sticks. So I'm really interested to see how clean it's actually going to be. You know, not having any other material introduced into the billets that I have to grind off. So
yeah, for sure. Just a small piece of the amount of work you have to do in the.
Yeah, absolutely. You get to be doing the process with me and getting the handles on them and everything, and then eventually be coming out to my shop to actually forge them out. So it'll be cool. The cleanest pre-forge welded billets ever.
It was fun. So this has been a really nice break from woodworking and actually being able to fire up the welders with a purpose. So love it. Boy, that's hot. Pretty sweet. Well, Tyson made me get my hands dirty, and I gotta say, he sure makes it look easy.
It's a Fisher Norris, 1850 Fisher Norris.
Wow. Whoa, you're on fire over there.
Acetone. I mean, you might as well get that right.
Round two.
Round two. right now we're gonna be at the final forge weld. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that these pieces are equal. It's gonna be 152 layer San Mai over 80 CRB2. And I wanna make sure that what we have going on here is just equal layers.
So I guess you don't count, so even though this is 150 total, you only count this is 75.
Yeah, because it's only one piece of that's only 75. You're gonna have a core that's in between that, so you really only have 70 layer Damascus showing on either side. Here we go, third and last round. Draw. This is going to dip out here more. Let's see, what belt do I destroy? Please let this look good. I always get a sneak peek before you get to see it. Yeah, it's awesome.
At this point, I am filming 3 separate videos here. The main batch of chaotic blocks, which I will go into a lot more depth on how this process works. And then I did this chaotic bench for my wife out of the scraps, which was a great video. And this video, making the knife handles. Now the chaotic process is pretty repetitive. It's 3 or 4 times of doing the same technique over and over. Doing it with the knife handles to get the kind of detail that I needed was pretty extensive. I went through 10 whole cycles of ripping the boards down, gluing them, planing them, and repeat. So there it is, the final dimension. This is stacked so I can get to 2 inches. So we took a 12-inch piece, ripped it down in half, flipped it so it's 2 inches thick, 6 inches wide, was 12. So that was probably way too much glue. I mean, it was too much glue. I was wondering how many clamps this would take. I guess the right answer was all of them. Being that this was the first time gluing up chaotic, 2 inches thick, as far as the edge grain thickness goes, I think I'm gonna go about this a different way next time. In fact, I'm sure I'm gonna go about it a different way next time, but this should work pretty well. Not too bad. Been waiting 8 weeks for this. Wow. Look at that. I took the piece that I made in the very beginning of the video and I ripped it into 4 pieces. I sent 2 of those blocks out to be professionally stabilized along with a bunch of other sample pieces that I was working on. I picked up a pressure pot and a vacuum chamber and did a bunch of testing myself to see if I could learn the process. And it turns out my stabilized pieces came out pretty good. Once I got the professional stuff and was able to compare them side by side, I was pleasantly surprised that mine held up and seemingly were just as good. And Tyson, the knife maker, he agreed. So from now on, all of my standard blocks will get sent out to be professionally stabilized because it's just too labor intensive. But the laminated stuff I'm going to do in-house because it came out so well.
You're going to see I'm going to be putting the maker's mark somewhere around here. Vinyl out of here, and you can see my maker's mark is in there. So we're going to be placing that. All it is salt, water, and vinegar. Positive end goes on the knife. Negative, makeup pads. I like using these. Get it a little bit soaking wet. Turn on your battery charger. What this is going to do is just remove a little bit of steel at a time, and it's going to turn black. What I'm going to do is just clean up the edges, make sure I don't have any, at least make sure I have crisp lines going around. So Windex it is. How deep that is. Then I'll clean them back up with the Windex. Put them back in the etch. We'll just keep doing that until all these streaks are gone. I acquired a Trojan horse knife vise, and this thing is an absolute game changer. But this knife vise is something else. Put it back in the edge.
All right, so I'm over here at Carbon Peaks. We just made the big batch of blocks here, and he's gonna go over processing these knife handles, and these were our test samples that we did. They came out really bitchin'. So,
all right, so what we're gonna do, the liners are already on. We use black liners here. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take these, we're gonna book match them, and I'm gonna put them together with two-sided tape. And once we do that, put the knife on here, and then we're gonna go over to the drill press and drill the holes, and that'll be the kind of the first step to this process. Yeah, see, there's like virtually no tear out whatsoever. These, the blocks are so good. Drew the line on there. And I'll go to hand sand it too, so.
man, that's a lot of hand sanding.
It's not too bad. Buffing wheel. That's it, super rough profile.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, man. And it's a little at a time.
Okay, so we're back in the little shop here, and yesterday going over there with Tyson and doing those knife handles and seeing his whole process and how that all works was just awesome. These are all like size dimensions. I mean, they're identical dimensions. They're going to get an average weight. We need to weigh them on the scale because we are going to dry them in the electric smoker here. It's a brand new electric smoker besides only going through this process. So even with a quality moisture meter, it's really hard to you can't read below 4 or 5%, and you need to get these as dry as possible. So we're gonna slowly work our way up on the electric smoker till we feel like we've evaporated all the moisture content, and we'll keep weighing these to make sure that they've stopped losing any weight. Once they stop losing any weight, then they've evaporated all the moisture. From there, we're going to pull them out of the little kiln and bag them up right away. So while they're cooling down, they don't suck in the moisture from the air. And you can't just put them right into the resin, because at that temperature the resin would cure right onto the outside, and then it would pretty much render it useless. So from there we go into the resin bath, the vacuum chambers, and the pressure pot, and we will repeat that for a couple of weeks. You just want to see me work?
Yeah, you wake me up.
You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
You want to show them your eye? Oh, your poor eye.
And my thumb.
Oh, you got in your
My
thumb.
thumbnail.
You're a cutie. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
See you in a minute.
Okay, I'll see you in a minute.
Say
Okay. nice and tight. Now I gotta make full use. 5 gallon, 5 gallon. So here's the activator, here's the resin. The activator has to be heated before it starts its curing process. Because the blocks will float once you fill the bucket with resin, I cleaned up some rebar, welded it up, and placed them on top. That way it helps keep all the blocks down inside the resin throughout the process. I do this process of going back and forth between the pressure pot and the vacuum pot twice a day for approximately 2 weeks until there's no more air bubbles to be seen once they're under vacuum. So we did the little test cure on some, they went great. And then here's half of the batch here. Time to do the other half. Daddy daycare. Got the kiddo today. Wife is working. Couple hours. We'll be ready. So those are individual knife scale full blocks, 2x2x6, and some pin turning blanks. Alright, so we are back in Tyson's shop.
So I already got 3 of them sharpened up. So I got the 2 10-inch and one of the 7-inch sharpened up. What we're gonna do is sharpen the last one. Super slow belt.
So I decided I had to buy one of these, so this one's actually my knife.
I try to find a piece of hardwood, kicking that burr off of there before I strop it. Kind of a haircut test. I got no hair left, but I mean, if it doesn't cut hair, which we need to do a little bit more, the tip is good. The back is getting good. I can strop it a little bit more. Yeah, it's there. Some people prefer a super polished edge, but I prefer them to be a little more subdued.